Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Milica, but you can call me Mici for short. Today I want to talk about the worst enemies of every artist, and that are imposter syndrome and perfectionism. Did you know that I almost didn't post this video? Can you guess why? Because I was ashamed of this artwork. This was supposed to be a speed paint of fan art of Sadie Singh. The artwork itself looks okay, but by the end of this video, you'll see that these don't really look like her. Eyes are a little off. I changed her nose shape multiple times, even the forehead ended up looking way smaller than I intended. At some point in the video, you'll see that I completely messed up her hair and then repainted it and started over. Yes, I have to work within some limitations because I work with acrylic markers and I don't have all the shades of every color at the moment, and that ended up being a challenge. But then I looked at it again and again and again. The more I looked at it, the worse it looked to me, and I was ashamed even more. How can I paint this bad when I have a bachelor's degree? Then I went to sleep and opened my sketchbook again in the morning. Yes, it is not my best work, but this don't look bad at all. It is fine. And then I started thinking, why am I ashamed at all? It is silly. Yes, I've studied art for years, but it doesn't mean that the world is going to end if I create something that doesn't look absolutely perfect. It is never that serious. We artists hold ourselves to very high standards, but it is not realistic to think that every artwork would be a masterpiece. It can't be and it shouldn't be. Bad art is maybe more important than good one. It means that we are trying to go out of our comfort zone and that we are trying something new. That exploration into the unknown is the only way that we can expand our skills. Also, for me, art is not about perfection. It is about self-expression, about what I feel inside. If I draw a subject that doesn't have some deeper meaning, then the meaning is hidden in every line because they show how I see and experience the world around me. But if I think like that about art, then why am I questioning my abilities? Maybe perfectionism is part of my personality? Perfectionism is both blessing and a curse because it is a multidimensional and multi-layered personality characteristic that can have both positive and negative aspects. Positive side is that it can make you try harder so you can produce better work. But maladaptive perfectionism drives people to be concerned with achieving things that are unattainable at the moment or at all, or unrealistic goals that often lead to many forms of adjustment problems such as depression, anxiety, OCD, OCPD, and low self-esteem. Perfectionists pressure themselves to achieve unrealistic goals that inevitably lead to disappointment. We tend to be harsh critics of ourselves, our work, and our failure to meet our own expectations. All that can further lead to perfectionary paralysis. How many times have you just sat in front of your desk with pencil in hand, staring at a blank piece of paper, but you just couldn't bring yourself to start drawing because you are scared of messing up? Or you have an idea for a drawing, but you can't choose a color palette or an art medium for it. Or you have many ideas, but you just can't pick one to draw, so you sit there and stare and do nothing. And then you think that you need a break, so you don't draw for a week, for a month, for several years. And then you look back and you regret all the time that you lost, but you can't take it back and you feel guilty. But why? Perfectionary paralysis is a specific aspect of perfectionism in which an individual abandons their work due to an overwhelming pursuit of perfection. This occurs when the desire for flawlessness reaches such an extreme level that progress becomes impossible, leading to inaction or the complete dismissal of the task at hand. The term perfectionary paralysis is derived from two related psychological phenomena: creative paralysis and analysis paralysis. Both describe similar tendencies where overthinking or an excessive need for perfection blocks productivity. After some time passed, then an imposter syndrome creeps in. I'm not good enough. When I say I'm an artist, I feel like I'm lying to people. Nobody can find out that I am bad. And all these thoughts lead to anxious feelings. You start being afraid that someone someday will find out that you are a joke of an artist. But there is a catch. They will not find out because it is not true. Imposter syndrome is a psychological experience in which a person suffers from feelings of intellectual or professional fraudulence. It can be described as a subjective experience of perceived self-doubt in one's abilities and accomplishments compared with others, despite evidence to suggest the contrary. Imposter syndrome is an experience the person has, not a mental disorder, but it can lead to low self-esteem and sense of failure as associated symptoms of depression. People with imposter syndrome show higher rates of burnout. And this is not related only to art. I'm trying to get a new job, and oh boy, the struggle is overwhelming. I almost haven't applied to several job postings because what if I tell them that I have 5 years of agency experience and they find out that I have no clue how to do this and that, and it is that ridiculous. And it needs to stop. For me, for you, for everyone. No one is telling me these things. I tell this to myself. So what can we do to fight these beasts? As a first step, I decided to post everything I create, no matter how good or bad it is. I see it as some kind of exposure therapy. We artists need to learn to embrace the fear. When you think about it, what do you have to lose? One piece of paper? So, in order not to ruin art supplies, we don't use them, but in the end they get wasted anyway because they have an expiration date. If you get a bad comment, so what? I don't like everyone or every artwork that I see, therefore it is totally normal and expected that not everyone will like me and my work. It is natural and it is okay. No one can please everyone. The right people who can connect with your ideas will find you eventually. It is okay to fail sometimes, in art but also in life. You can always start over. Repaint, retry, reinvent yourself. It is better to fail time and time again until one day you finally succeed than to never try anything and to hide yourself just like I was hiding myself from the world. I even avoided starting this channel because of fear of what will people think when they hear me speaking English. It is not my native language, I'm not good enough. Maybe it is too late. I'm 29, many people started years ago, maybe my time has passed. But at some point I forced myself to start anyway. And you know what happened? World kept spinning. Nothing was ruined as a result of my insecure English speaking or because this portrait kinda looks like Sadie, but not really. If you are still watching, thank you for that. Once again, I'm reminding you that it is all okay. You can always try again. There will always be another pen and paper, another day. You can always try to do something different or the same thing again, but in a slightly different way. Tell me in the comments, how are you trying to battle with this kind of feelings? So we can all help each other out. I want to create safe space here for anyone, regardless of what is their skill level or confidence level. If you want to keep listening to my rambling about art, you can subscribe to my channel so you can be notified about my new videos. If you like this one, you can leave a like or share it with your friend. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!